In this section, we're going to discuss different lighting technologies and what to keep in mind when thinking about lighting. We begin with incandescent lighting, which until recently was the industry standard. These bulbs use electricity to heat a metal filament and give off light. These bulbs are very inefficient, as most of the energy used is given off as heat and wasted, and the filaments tend to burn out after a fairly short time, about 1,000 hours. Halogen lights were developed to improve upon the incandescent, using halogen gas to extend the lifespan of the bulb. These bulbs are more expensive to produce, but are heat resistant and more durable than incandescents. They have been used for years in headlights for cars. Fluorescent bulbs came along in the mid-20th century and changed the lighting industry. These bulbs use 1/3 of the energy of incandescents and last about 10 times longer. Instead of a filament, fluorescent lights use an electric current to excite low-pressure mercury vapor, which produces ultraviolet light that causes the phosphor coating on the inside of the lamp to glow. Compact fluorescents, or CFLs, operate using the same technology, except the tube is wrapped to make the bulb compact and give it the ability to replace incandescent bulbs in the home. It is important to note that fluorescent bulbs do have some minor safety concerns. They contain mercury, which is toxic to humans. Special care needs to be taken if these bulbs break or stop working. They need to be recycled at the end of their lifespan at home improvement stores. If the bulb breaks, use tape or wet paper towel to collect the broken fragments instead of a vacuum. For higher output purposes, there are other types of lighting. High-intensity discharge bulbs, such as metal halide bulbs, which are typically found in rooms with high ceilings, like warehouses and gyms. You'll also find these at parks' ball fields. High and low pressure sodium bulbs, which give off a distinctive yellow light, are commonly found in street lamps and in parking garages. But the current undisputed champion of lighting technologies is the light-emitting diode, or LED. These lights convert electric energy directly into visible light using solid-state semiconductors and are very long-lasting, highly reliable lights. Typically, they last about 50,000 hours or 50 times longer than incandescents. They use up to 90% less energy than incandescents and 25% less energy than fluorescents, and are more environmentally friendly since they do not contain mercury. LEDs used to be relatively expensive, but they have recently dropped drastically in price and are being used to replace incandescents, fluorescents, metal halides, and even the halogen headlights in cars. In 2009, the 5th version of the Times Square ball featured 32,256 LED lights. They come in all styles for all kinds of applications. Because there are so many different types of LEDs on the market, there are a lot of different options when it comes to replacing your old bulbs. When purchasing a new light bulb, the first thing that probably comes to mind is how bright you would like it to be. Brightness is actually measured in lumens, but on most packaging, it is usually provided in terms of the equivalent wattage of an incandescent bulb, such as 60-watt equivalent bulb. Another lighting characteristic that you might not be familiar with is what's known as color temperature, which is measured in kelvins. This bulb is 5,000 kelvins, and the next slide we'll see what that means. This illustration shows what different color temperatures look like. The 5,000 Kelvin light that we were just looking at is referred to as day white. This might be a good light to use for a reading light, but might not be the kind of light you would like in a dining room, where you would like a warmer light, something that looks more like an incandescent light. For this kind of light, we would look for a color temperature around 2,700 to 3,000 kelvins. The higher the color temperature, the cooler the light. The lower the color temperature, the warmer the light. Now that you understand the benefits of upgrading your lights, let's look at the neighborhoods in Brooklyn and Queens that are eligible for free light bulbs through Con Edison's neighborhood program. If you live in these neighborhoods, please contact Con Ed to schedule an appointment and get some free light bulbs. Representatives from Franklin Energy also go door to door offering free light bulbs. If you miss them, you can email them at this address with your name, Con Ed account number, and email address, and they will reach out to you to make an appointment and visit and provide you with free light bulbs. For more information about lighting, please check out the Additional Resources section.